Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
Coming up on tonight's podcast, episode 146, we look back on the ass kicking that the Tampa Bay Lightning gave to the Toronto Maple Leafs. How are we feeling after the beatdown of the season? Injury updates. We'll tee up the back-to-back this weekend against the Panthers and the Capitals, and we'll take a look at how the standings are shaping up for the playoffs. We got one segment tonight, the Eagles Nest. All this and more on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In Podcast, on YouTube at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe, and check out all our live streams on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, as well as listen to our podcast. Go back and listen to the old episodes. Give us a 5-star review. We love it. We love it. Anyway, you know what I didn't love? The Tampa Bay Lightning kicking the shit out of the Toronto Maple Leafs. But before we get to that, something else I didn't love. Dale, I got the COVID, man.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it, man, because you seem awfully fucking or you must be fucking drugged up or something over there.
I got a lot of medication in my system, and you know what? I took a day off and just relaxed and rested. I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, loaded up on meds, probably.
Loaded up on meds, watched some Netflix, watched a lot of true crime documentaries. I mean, I'm good to go.
Porn, some new porn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you probably dug deep into some new browsers, and that's why you're so chipper. Chipper.
It is. I found a new star. You know when you find like a new girl, a new porn star? It's like it just opens up a vault of stuff you haven't seen before.
It's like that just leads down a rabbit hole that it just keeps going and going, man.
It's like weeks, months of happy times, and then
it really is. So like
forward.
You seem awfully chipper for the whole COVID thing. Like it's very you got a real mild, like you got mild case.
Oh yeah, I got a very mild case of COVID, very mild case.
So rumor has it that the Easter Bunny gave you COVID. So that fucking Easter Bunny, man.
Easter Bunny
cannot escape that fucking Easter Bunny.
Must have come into my room while I was sleeping, because I didn't see the Easter Bunny, but must have snuck into the bed. And now I got COVID.
So. Right. Well, yeah, that's anyway, I'm, glad to see you sound, like I said, chipper and feeling good and all that. So last night, though, like you were probably feeling like shit because that was just, I couldn't even watch it.
Yeah, last night I actually did feel like shit, like physically.
Yeah.
And watching that game was fucking horse shit.
I got the brunt right behind me, eh? Right in the brunt.
You're giving it to the brunt all night.
Jesus, man. Look at that picture. If you're watching this stream, if you're just listening to the audio version of this later, you can't see the picture behind us, but look at this shit. Look at this. Do you want to describe that fucking scene right behind me right there?
That is our captain in a full-on headlock. Just
he was not interested at all in any pushback, eh? Like just not at all. Not even a little bit.
A lot of the team wasn't.
Like when I see Tavares kind of getting roughed up, pushed around, whatever, and he wants no part of it, part of me goes back to thinking like, okay, like what's this guy going to do? He's not going to get in a scrap. He doesn't want to take any headshots because of his situation in the playoffs last year, right? Like, so I kind of give him like a pass. Like, I don't expect him to get in a fight, but like, John, like, come on, man. Do you not want to see a little more fucking balls there? Just a little, show something, man.
I mean, do you want to just get into the Tampa game?
I mean, we're not going to recap it. So what are we just like?
Yeah, but are we going to go back to the Philly game, or are we just?
No, fuck no. There's no point.
All right, then.
Yeah, after
I am totally in agreement with you. It wasn't just JT. There was a bunch of guys who I was like, Tampa Bay came out last night and they're like, we're going to show you. We're going to play you in the first round. This is a little taste of what you're going to get. Too many of the Leafs just wanted no part of it.
Oh, my God.
No part of it at all.
Here's the thing. The first period, I actually thought was like, it's scoreless after the end of the first, man, going into the second. So, and it seemed pretty even. At that point, Shalgren had played okay, I think, up to that point. He made some decent saves, and it was kind of an even game. Vasilevsky made some good saves and what have you. But then all of a sudden, like, going in, and there was a lot of talk going into this game about like, oh, the last time the Leafs went there, they beat them 6-2, and like, no Matthews this time, and they didn't start Campbell. So I'm going to be honest with you. Before this game started, I didn't have a good feeling about this game. I didn't think they were going in there to beat Tampa Bay. Did you?
No, I didn't have a good feeling. And then when Shalgren started, I had a worse feeling. I don't know why. I just thought, I don't know, that the Leafs were going to you're playing your backup goalie. They were starting Vasilevsky. It had a recipe that they were going to lose. Did I think they were going to get fucking beat in one?
No, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one coming. But I wasn't feeling like, they could have basically locked up the second seed last night. Boston and Tampa still like fighting for that third spot, but it didn't happen. And now, the Leafs have 4 games left. They got to win some games here. Nothing's guaranteed. The Leafs could go 0-4 to end it, or 1-4, and Tampa could fucking take home ice. That's a possibility. So
yeah, they need one more win.
Well,
they need one more win. I think that would. It won't mathematically put them there, but I don't think Tampa's going to run out the schedule. So I would say just get one more win. But why not just put an end to it? Just
okay. Like you got to look at I hated the game. I didn't watch. Like I kept it kind of on in the background, but I was doing other shit. I'm like, after the end of the second period, I'm like, I'm fucking done. 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Check, please. They're not coming back. You could tell this game was fucking over.
They had no bite. They had no fight.
No. So I'm like, you know what? Part of me is like not super worried about it and super pissed about it. And the other part of me is like, you know what? Like, these guys, again, in a big game, they don't, whatever. But, like I said, no Campbell, no Matthews. A chance to really grasp that second seed, they really failed miserably. But how much of that can you, I don't know, Sheldon Keefe making some weird decisions again. Like, should they have started Campbell? Matthews probably could have played. Like, what's the deal? He's out there morning skate, fucking ripping around, firing pucks, looks fucking fine to me. What's the obviously
Chris Johnson reported that he thought Matthews was playing that night.
Obviously, he hasn't recovered from the fucking fall in the shower with his groin.
Well, and that happens. But
if you've got a lingering groin issue, I get it. Like, I get you want to be careful with that. But I mean, come on, man.
Skate, he doesn't look like he has a lingering groin. He looks fine.
Like, do you think the Leafs were just like, okay, Tampa, take it here, boys? Like, Tampa Bay was probably like the last time these guys came in here, they made us look fucking stupid on home ice. Where that's not happening again.
No, yeah, I think that was a big part of it. They got their asses handed to them 6-2 last time the Leafs were in town, but also I think they just ramped it up. Tampa needed this. They hadn't been playing good for a while.
Yeah,
and they just came out and they played like a playoff game. They were playing dirty. They were playing physical. They were getting in your face. Like, Marner was thrown off his game. JT was thrown off his game. Nylander was thrown off his game. All the guys, like Matthews wasn't in the lineup, but those are your big boys. And they're thrown off their game because of the hits, because of the little dirty kicks. Kucherov kicked Marner.
Oh,
he was on the bench staring him down. I'm like, live with it. This is going to happen in the
what's
playoffs.
That going to, on the bench staring him down, what's that going to do? How about you go out there and punch him in the fucking face?
Yeah, get into a scrum with them or do something. I don't know.
Like, staring him down on the bench. Whoa, Mitch. Fuck, don't give him the evil eye. That's really going to fucking show.
They checked out. A part of me thinks this is maybe a good thing that this happened. I don't know how you feel about this, but
a rude awakening for sure.
That's what I mean.
There's your podcast title, 10 minutes in.
You get a rude awakening at the start, or before the playoffs even start. You get a little rude awakening. Do
you want a quick rude awakening story?
Yeah.
Do you remember the wrestler Ravishing Rick Rude?
Yes.
Now we're going back here. Like, this is late 80s, early 90s, probably even late 80s. Ravishing Rick Rude. He would go in this guy was full mullet, full mustache. We would love this guy if he played professional hockey. He's not alive anymore. A lot of wrestlers have passed away, but in his heyday when he was wrestling, he would come to the ring in this big, beautiful robe, and his whole thing was like his finishing move was called the Rude Awakening. The Rude Awakening. And he would just crank people down on the neck and like, you're fucking toast. But he used to wear tight tights, and he would put pictures of his opponent's wives or girlfriends on his tights. Okay. So, and this guy, I don't know if you remember Rick Rude, like if you ever watched WWF back in like the late 80s.
I wasn't a big wrestling guy, but
He'd go to the ring with his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and there was obviously like a plant in the crowd or whatever. They would pick out one of the hottest women in the crowd to come in the ring. Ravishing Rick Rude would come in the ring, get in the ring. And he would give her a kiss right in the ring, right on the lips, and she would faint because it was just so ravishing. She would faint in the ring. And they did this week after
she
week
must have
after
been
week.
Planted.
Yeah, it was a plant, of course. It was a
okay.
plant. But he would come in and he was right on. We're going to get to the Eagles' nest later. We got a lot of sweaty hogs. But he used to call all the males. He's like, all you women out here, you want to see a real man. All you, whatever city they were in, say they were in wherever, right? All these sweat hogs here and wherever. He was the best, man. The Rude Awakening, ravishing Rick Rude. So just thought I'd throw a little Rude Awakening. His finishing move was called the Rude Awakening or the Rude Awakener.
Well, Tampa Bay pulled out the Rude Awakening last night.
Oh, Jesus.
And finished off the Toronto Maple Leafs.
The Leafs were the sweat hogs. They were fainting all over the place. They couldn't.
Fuck.
Yeah, they was like they just looked
garbage.
like
And the game got out of hand too. It just turned to garbage in the third period. A lot of fighting. I mean, good on Simmons and Clifford and those guys for doing their job. But
man, 8-1, dude. Like this was a fucking ass kicking. Like this was embarrassing. This was oh my.
Yeah.
How could you not?
What did Tampa go 5 for 6 on the power play? Like, did the Leafs even kill a penalty?
They were 4 for 6.
4 for 6.
Leafs got their only power play goal, or their only goal on the power play. Now, look, I'm not going to do. We can't really recap an 8-1 game, but I am willing to do this. I forgot the damn spandex gloves, but if you want to put on the gloves, because this is going to get a little dirty, you want to put on the gloves, and we can take a look inside of the box.
All right.
I'm willing to do that. I don't have anything queued up or anything, but we can put on our surgical gloves because it's going to be dirty in there. And we
I'm ready. I got my gloves on.
We can take a look inside the box. Let's just take a quick look inside the box.
You got to do the big snap when you put
I know. I should have had surgical gloves queued up, ready to go.
Big snap.
Let's take a look inside the dirty box, okay? Because this one is, oh, man. 8-1 final. Shots, 36 for Tampa, 37 for the Leafs. So Vasilevsky played a pretty good game, but the Leafs, I don't know. That's
misleading. They were never close in this game.
Misleading, 100%. Block shots, Tampa 17, Toronto 13. Hits, Tampa 34, the Leafs 26. Okay, seems like that's a little off to me. But anyway, face-offs, dead even. Power play, you just said. Tampa Bay went 4 for 6 on the power play. The Leafs, 1 for 5. And, there you go. Shalgren lets in fucking 8 goals on 36 shots. So he gets absolutely fucking peppered. Not like he had any fucking help in front of him. And that's just a look inside the box for this evening, or for last night's game. There's nothing really to say. Mikheyev got the goal, Giordano got the assist, Spezza got the other assist. That's it. 2 guys got an assist, 1 guy got a goal. That's all she fucking wrote. So what a fucking dirty box that was. Absolutely. Yeah. I never want to look inside that box ever again.
No, it was, and the penalties in the third, the box was full.
I wasn't watching.
Oh, I had it on. And
how could you watch this to the end? I was like, they were a no-show. And the only
reason I watched it till the end, man, is because I wanted to see their response.
Oh, dude, there wasn't any response coming. You could just tell.
Tampa didn't let their foot off the gas. They kept scoring. They kept hitting. They kept playing dirty.
I know. No response by the Leafs. No, they were like,
You got responses from the guys you'd expect to get responses from.
Okay, fine.
There was one scrum that happened, and Bunting took on 3 guys. He was the only guy out there. JT got into a little bit of a scrum. Willie floated around the net, didn't pick up.
By JT getting into a scrum, you mean getting pushed around because he had no fight back at all.
But I mean, he got in there at least.
No pushback at all.
He didn't do anything. But
I think it was more. I think it was more like he got caught in the middle of it. He didn't want to fucking be there.
No, he didn't want to. But he was there and he was taking it. But Willie just gone. Just
well, dude,
off the ice.
Dude,
just grab somebody. You don't have to fight them, but just grab somebody and hold. The Bunting's taking on 3 guys. What the fuck is Bunting going to do?
The brunt. Look, I would guarantee you that if they could have left after the second period, they would have been like, okay, let's just go. We're done. We're done here.
Every Leaf fan, everybody watching the game, the broadcasters on TSN, everyone had been like, can we just get the check and get out of here? What is the point of playing the third period of a game like that?
Okay, so there's just not much to recap here. This was crazy. We can just get into our thoughts on does this mean something? Does it mean nothing? I don't fucking know. But we should quickly talk about Ron Hextall, a.k.a. Leah Hextall. They're not the same person. Are they brothers and sisters or no? Or just same?
I have no idea.
I
didn't really know who she was until.
Okay, well, you've heard of her before.
But I didn't really know.
I think she used to work for Sportsnet or something, and then she went to TNT or whatever, and is doing the ESPN broadcast.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but I couldn't have told you what she looked like or anything. And then today, people are talking about her. So.
Okay, well, she was between the benches last night, right? And the intermission. Before Simmons and Maroon fought, they were chirping all night, and Maroon whatever, and she asked the question about, she's like, ends up being something about, she directly asked him, are you soft? Are you soft?
She said to Wayne Simmons, she said, you and Maroon have a history. You've dropped the gloves before, which they hadn't until later that game.
Right.
Maroon, I'm standing between the benches. I hear Maroon calling you soft. I just want to know, are you soft?
Yeah, that's a brutal question. Do you not think?
Yeah, well, Simmons answered the question, said, we've never fought, so you should ask him because I've asked him to go, so you should ask him if I'm soft or not. So Simmons did a good job of answering the question.
He did a great job. I would have handled that slightly different.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
Slightly different.
You have 2 minutes to talk to Wayne Simmons. Are you going to ask him if he's soft? When is this guy ever soft?
I'm never going to ask Wayne Simmons if he's soft because I know his history. I'm not a fucking idiot. If you know, the guy's been in the league for how many fucking years? 12 years?
Yeah.
Look at his fucking...
He's one of the hardest working grinders ever.
She should know this guy has made a career of beating the shit out of people. Not only that, he could score and do all kinds of things. Very physical player. Are you soft? Are you an analyst? Are you she's now okay. Listen.
I saw on Twitter Tim Peel, the old ref.
Tim Peel. He went right at her, yeah.
He went right at her and he's like, that is a terrible question. She blocked him from Twitter. Doesn't want any part of it. And he's just like, that's a terrible question. If you were standing between the benches, you should know who Wayne Simmons is. Just like you said, you should know who Wayne Simmons is and his history, and you don't ask him. I think that's like asking Austin Matthews. So you got a couple goals tonight. Do you sort of look at yourself as a goal scorer?
I know, it's so fucking dumb, man.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Tim Peel basically said to her, Leah Hextall, I've heard, and now it is confirmed that she is not a good analyst.
No, she is not.
But here's what Wayne Simmons should have fucking did. Wayne, are you soft? He should have just stood up, fucking whipped his fucking pants down and said, what does it fucking look like to you? Am I soft? And just threw the fucking headset down and said, those fucking Hextalls. Ask your brother. That's what he should have said. Ask your brother.
Do I look like a bitch?
Yeah. Marcellus Wallace.
For sure. But yeah, no, it was a terrible interview. It was stupid. Anyway. I thought Wayne Simmons handled it beautifully.
No, he did. He should have for a guy who's very not soft, he's the opposite of soft, which is, what's the opposite of soft?
Hard.
Rock hard. This guy's hard, man. This guy's hard as a fucking rock. He's one of the least softest guys. Jesus
He's never
Christ.
Soft.
No,
never soft.
If she was a true Hextall, she must not be related to Ron. Because if Ron would have told her, this guy is not soft, trust me. I've seen him do it, man. It ain't soft. It ain't fucking soft. But anyway.
It ain't soft at all.
Heck, those fucking Hextalls. You got to watch out for those Hextalls, man. Here's another quick little story. Off topic, but kind of not really. I used to wear number 27 playing net in honor of Ronnie Hextall. There was other goalie numbers available, like number 1, whatever, the sweater was bigger. Number 27 was just a player sweater. It looked like I was like a snug fit, a very snug fit. But I wore it anyway because I emulated my fucking goalie game after Ron Hextall. And that was a shitty goalie, but very, very gritty. A gritty, shitty goalie. That's how I emulated my game. So
Yep.
that's why I wore number 27.
The game needed a little work, but you always, you were always there to light someone's dart at the exit.
Oh,
at the exit doors, poking your head out of the showers. You were there.
That's right. Yeah, I had it taken care of. Team effort, man. Or whatever.
But anyway, listen, Leafs lose 8-1. It was an absolute debacle. We could talk forever about everything we hated about this game. But let's get into the standings because I think they're going to play Tampa in the first round.
I don't know.
That's how it's looking.
I don't know if they are or not, but it could still be whatever. Do you want to go to the Eagles' Nest and we'll talk a little further before we go to the standings?
All right, yeah.
Pinpoint some.
If anyone knows this segment, they know the answer that's coming. But
we're gonna do a players edition Eagles Nest,
a whole team edition. Of the Eagles Nest.
Ready?
Hit it.
Eddie the Eagle, great name.
And watch Belfour's stick.
Wow.
All right, Piggy. Come on out, Piggy.
And put it right up into his face there, and Belfour's not going to take that. Wham! Right there. He came up high. And here it comes. And the Eagles all over him.
I bet you if you pop those jeans off, you're going to find a sweaty hog.
How in the world did he make that save?
He's pulling stuff now.
Wow.
All right, Piggy. Come on out, Piggy.
What better name than Eddie the Eagle?
So before we get into the Eagles Nest, Chris says that his goalie was Grant Fuhrer. Grant Fuhrer, not Ronnie.
Well, okay, that's fine. You don't man, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is.
That's okay. I'm sure Hextall's been there a time or two, so it's all good. Played
Go from winning
style.
cups to playing in Buffalo. That's the cocaine cowboy ride.
Yeah. Speaking of Grant Fuhrer, I should say this. I saw this today. I don't know if TSN put it out or whoever, but so Sheldon Keefe was asked after the game last night too. Did you think about putting Jack in there? Did you hear that? Was that Masters? It was probably Mark Masters.
Probably.
What a fuck. Oh, actually, no. I don't think Masters wouldn't. No, Masters, his would be a softer.
There was no way Jack Campbell was getting.
Well, Sheldon Keefe laughed off. He's like, really? Yeah, I'm gonna throw Jack in there. That makes sense. He just left Shalgren in there, but. Here's the thing, okay? So most goals allowed in a game by Leafs goaltenders. Did you see this today or yesterday?
No.
Last night? Okay, so since 1989-90, the 89-90 season, most goals allowed in a game by a Leafs goaltender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The list is 6, top 6. 4 of them are tied with 8. And then one person let in 9 and one person let in 12 in a game. So, 4 guys tied at 8. Want to take a stab or want me to? One is.
Okay, let me see.
You're
89-90?
Since 89-90. So they played for the Leafs 89-90 or to present day. It's a good mix in there.
Shalgren, obviously.
Shalgren made the list last night with 8. There's 4 guys tied at 8. One guy let in 9 and one guy let in fucking a 12 spot. 12!
Can I say, would Ken Reggett be in that?
He's not.
Would it be newer, like Vesatoskala?
You're going to be surprised at some of these names. Vesatoskala has let in 8. He's one of them.
Yeah,
him and Shalgren. There's 4 other guys.
Did Raycroft let in 8?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. JFJ, great trade. He didn't make the list.
Give it to me. Shalgren, Raycroft.
No, Raycroft did not make the list.
Oh, sorry.
Toskala, Shalgren, Felix Potvin let in an 8.
Oh, yes.
Let in an 8 spot. This one is fucking mind-blowing. You want to know who else let in an 8 spot?
Not Eddie the Eagle.
Our favorite, Eddie the Eagle Belfour. He must have had a sweaty hog that night. Wow. Big time.
Or the night before.
or both.
Or both.
Okay, so those are the 4 guys who's let in 8 goals in a game. since 89-90. Toskala, Shalgren, Potvin, and Belfour. Now, in 1989 against the Chicago Blackhawks, no surprise there. Jeff Reese led in nine goals.
I had a
goals.
Jeff Reese jersey.
Oh, no way.
I did, yeah, when I was a kid.
And in 1991 versus the Pittsburgh Penguins, a 12 spot was put up against the cocaine cowboy Grant Fuhr. Holds the record for most goals allowed in a game with 12 since 80. Oh, I don't know if he holds the record. They only put since 89-90. There could be more.
Well, that's a record for us.
So, man, a couple of our favorites on there, like especially Eddie. That's very disappointing. Sweaty hog.
Yeah,
So,
but we know there's a story behind it. This isn't just he got blown out. This is I went to the brass rail.
Oh,
I wound up at the rub and tug. Next thing I know, I got practice or morning skate, and then that's how Eddie rode.
100%. So we are doing the Eagles nest here. Belfour's got a sweaty hog. See, I just kind of wanted to do that to say, look, it can happen to the best of them sometimes.
To everybody.
Let's not get too crazy here. It can happen to the best of them.
Just because your hog's sweaty today doesn't mean it won't be a stiff hog tomorrow.
That's right. That's exactly right. And it might be spread eagle on a day later. Who knows? That's really pushing it, though.
It's rare.
You don't
go
really
from a sweaty hog to a spread eagle. It just doesn't happen.
No, you're right. So Jack Campbell, let's just give a little kudos to Jackie boy. They beat the Flyers 5-2. I thought Jack played pretty well in that game. Pretty well. It's the Flyers. The Flyers suck.
But he still had like 38 saves or whatever.
Speaking of Ron Hextall, does he still work for them? No, he got fired.
He got fired.
Okay, Ronnie,
Look what's happened since you fired Ron Hextall.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So the Flyers not very good, but Jackie boy played pretty well in that game. We'll give him a stiff hawk, I would say. In that game,
definitely a hard stiff hawk.
Now he's the only one getting a stiff hawk because then we're not even going to go through the players in that game. We're just going right to Tampa Bay. I think they went to. Did they go out to Tampa Bay thinking, oh man, like we're sitting pretty here, like we beat them last time, maybe they're tired. All this talk was around Tampa Bay, like, oh, they're getting tired, they've played so many games, and like the 2 cup runs, like
and also the Leafs have had not an easy schedule but an easier schedule the last little while. They look like they wanted to go play run and gun with Tampa, and Tampa was like, nope, not doing that, bend over, boys. Bend over.
So I'm going to be honest with you. We're just going to, if you want to like pick anybody in anybody individual.
You lose A1, the whole team.
Yeah.
Like if there was something lower on this list that I could pick from below Sweaty Hog.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Is there anybody specific though? Because I'm going to be honest. Like I had it on in the background, but after the end of the second period, I stopped watching because I'm like, they're not coming back. They're not coming back.
Like anybody I wouldn't give a Sweaty Hog to?
No, is there anybody that you would pick out specifically and be like, this guy, what a fucking sweaty hog last night?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Is there anyone specifically? Because I don't know. I didn't see the third period. I was done after the second, so I'm like, I can't grade it fairly. So I'm sweaty hogs all around here.
Yeah, there's always guys I could pinpoint. The defense was terrible. Justin Hall had just
I saw Hall like a couple.
Yeah, just a terrible
looked like he kind of quit playing or just stopped. Like was like in the third period. I saw some highlights where it looked like he was just not interested.
You know what though? There were some guys that surprised me. I know they got beat 8-1, but there were some guys that kind of rose to the occasion and played through the shit. Like guys like I said this earlier, Marner, Tavares, Nylander. They just ran and hid. Like Tampa came out to spank them, and they just ran and hid. But Seabiscuit had, he showed a little poise. He didn't get fucking taken in by Tampa and kept his game going. Mikheyev, same thing. Camp, same thing.
Did Keefe put Mikheyev with Camp and Engvall for the third period?
No, in the third period, he just kind of let things roll. Like, he just wanted to end the game. He barely played some of the other guys. He basically, like, Simmons and Clifford seemed to be on the ice so much in the third.
Yeah.
And it was just getting out of hand. But Seabiscuit had a good game, man. Engvall, he looked pretty good. Giordano looked like he was fighting back, and I like to see that. The Leafs need more guys like that. Everybody, I forget who it was, but he laid out a guy in front of the net with a punch to the face.
Everybody on that team, last night on the Toronto Maple Leafs against that Tampa Bay, against the Lightning in the 8-1 loss. Everybody in that game was a minus. Every single player. Now, some guys were like, a lot of guys were -2, a lot of guys were -1. You'd think there'd be more than just -2. There was only 4 guys that were not a minus. They were just even. They only scored 1 goal. Who do you think the 4 guys are that were not that were not a minus last night?
The guys on the ice with the goal?
No. Well, who do you think?
Seabiscuit?
No, he was.
He was a minus?
Yeah.
Kerfoot?
No.
Who was it?
You already talked about 2 of them off the top. Simmons.
Simmons and Clifford?
The entire third line, okay? Spezza, Simmons, and Clifford were the only forwards that were not a minus, and the only defenseman that wasn't a minus. This is kind of surprising because I didn't love his game, but anyway, Labushkin.
Okay.
Was the only defenseman that was not a minus. Every other defenseman was like Hall -2, Brody -2, playing with Hall. What a surprise. Kerfoot, Engvall, everybody was a minus. But
Chris says Kerfoot fought. That was nice to see.
if you want to call that a fight, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't. That's the thing I'm talking about, man. If you watch that Kerfoot fight, yes, he stood up for himself. Yes, he wasn't afraid to get in there. But let's face it, he fucking got dummied. He got bullied. He got pushed around. Mitch last night, Mitch was trying to dangle. Tampa was, maybe they were penalties, but they were sticking their stick in between his legs and sort of can opening him. They were throwing him into the boards. They were kind of playing dirty. The refs weren't calling it. It totally threw Mitch off his game. I'm surprised they even needed to flood the ice with the amount of sweaty hogs dripping all over. It was fucking disgusting to watch as a Leafs fan.
So we're just sweaty hogs, everybody. There's nobody who nobody who gets a pass. Maybe Simmons, maybe Clifford, maybe.
But you lost 8-1.
Simmons, a soft sweaty hog? No. At least he had a hard. Here's a new one. At least Simmons had a hard sweaty hog.
Yeah, Simmons didn't have to spend that long in the shower. It wasn't that sweaty, but...
So here's what we'll do, Chad, before we move on to a few final topics. Last night, sweaty hogs all around. You know what it kind of reminded me a little bit of? That was a game that looked to me like, Peter Mrazek was in net. There were some pucks flying right through Shalgren. I wouldn't pin this all on Shalgren, but he didn't play great in the second and the third. He had no help, whatever. But
no help at all.
Like, I had memories of Peter Mrazek and his chrome bucket and his sweaty hog running through my fucking brain. It was not fucking good. In honor of that, I think we got to go to the Lizard Hose sponsor for this evening. Just to, this is Sweaty Hogs. This is dedicated to all you sweat hogs out there.
Yes. Let's have a word from our sponsor going out to the sweaty hogs that sweat all over the ice last night, and to any sweaty hogs who woke up today and had a sweat hog of a day.
Grab a hold of your hoses, boys.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. We really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but Lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy. No one fucks with my hose. The Lizard Hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, Just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Lizard Hose. Visit lizardhose.com today for your non-kink hose.
Look like Mrazek. Old memories flopping around out there. Holy hell's
The
bells.
garden hose on the loose.
Jesus Christ. All right, man. What do you want to do here? Do you want to go, like, what do you want to do? You want to talk about upcoming games? You want to talk about the playoff, like where they're, like how things are shaking down?
Let's look at the playoff picture because it's starting. They lost to Tampa last night. Boston also lost.
Yes, they did.
So Tampa gained ground on Boston. I mean, anything can happen.
Do you have the standings up? Do you have the standings in front of you right now?
No, I don't have them in front of me right now.
Okay, I'll get it out here in a second.
But I know it's like
I'll pull it out here in a second.
Tampa, I think, has 102 points and Boston 99.
Yeah, 3 points, but yeah, that's right. The Bruins are 3 points behind them. They both have 5 games remaining. The Leafs have 4. So yeah, the Leafs have 108 points with 4 games left. Boston and Tampa Bay both have 5 games left. The Lightning have 102 points. The Bruins have 99 points. That could still flip-flop.
It could still move, but as we push closer, it's looking more and more like it's going to be Toronto-Tampa.
It is. So after last night...
Are you concerned?
Oh, fuck yeah. Of course I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm extremely fucking concerned. Because if Tampa Bay decides to, like, stop fucking around and they go back to, like, the Stanley Cup, like, you know, yeah, we're the Cup champs, so fuck you. Like, watch this. Like, you know, that's very fucking concerning.
I know. I was having this discussion with somebody the other day, and they were like talking about how Toronto's having an incredible season, and it doesn't matter who they play. Toronto should be the favorite going in.
Not against Tampa Bay, man.
That's exactly what I said. And after last night, it proves it. It proves it because, yeah, okay, you might have 6 to 8 more points than Tampa at the end of the regular season. They have back-to-back cups. They have the best goalie in the world.
That's the whole thing right there.
It doesn't matter. You are the underdog in this series. Sure, you have home ice advantage, but I would say every betting person is putting their money on Tampa Bay in the first round.
Yeah,
so I would actually rather Boston this year.
Oh yeah, at this point, dude, Boston. Neither one of Boston's goalies has ever even played a playoff game, so I would take my chances with an older Boston team who I don't believe is as deep as the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they sure as fuck don't have the goaltending of the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's what scares me the most, is that the Leafs could have they could play Tampa, the Leafs could have a great fucking series and still lose because of Vasilevsky. That's what scares me the fucking most. If you play if you play Boston, it's less likely you could still run. One of their goalies could get hot too, but it's less likely you're going to get a Conn Smythe performance out of the Boston goalie.
Look at Carey Price last year. You know, he turned it on. They couldn't beat him. Maybe a different story, but
now with that being said, I still do believe, taking last night's game out of the equation, I still do believe the Toronto Maple Leafs can beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in a 7-game series. I think they can. I don't know if they will, but I think they can. A lot of things need to go right. Like, if Tampa gets a sniff of that last night and they're like, hey, let's up the, mind you, no Campbell and no Matthews, but hey, if they're like, let's just ramp up things a little physically, and again, the Leafs have no fucking answer to it. If they decide, like, we're doing that, then the Leafs might be fucked.
Yeah. But really, if Campbell's in the net and Matthews is in that game last night, do you think it really makes a big difference?
No, it doesn't make any difference.
They're still walking out of there.
Maybe they lose 8-3.
Yeah.
No, Campbell. Maybe it makes a difference, but it does. But I don't think it doesn't make a difference that they win.
No, that's what I mean. They're still going to get the loss. It's still a fucking.
It might not have been an 8-1 grubbing, but.
No, and I wouldn't read too much into it. I think if this was a playoff series and this is game 1, I would expect a way better game in game 2.
Right.
So I'm not really expecting anything. I'm just really
oh my god! If this was
Tampa Bay,
if this was game 1, if this was game 1, oh man, no.
Could you imagine?
No.
What do you think happens if they don't get out of the first round?
If you lose,
what happens in this town, man?
If you lose to Tampa Bay, it's just going to be how you play. If you play well enough to win, but don't, I think fans will be okay with that. It's Tampa Bay.
Are they going to be okay with that?
I think so. I'll tell you what I won't be okay with. What we saw last night.
Oh my God. Well, no, obviously not. That'd be a fucking sweep.
They go down without a fight and they just whimper out and get smoked, like swept 4-0. And I'm fucking done with these fucking guys, man. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, but you said that last year and you're right back.
Okay, but now I'm thinking, yeah, but I can't keep doing it. Like, you got to show me, like, even though
we've been doing it for 40 years, we're gonna stop now?
No, but like,
I know what you're saying. I know
something I need to see something. Look, man, I haven't felt like how I felt after that playoff loss to Montreal last year. I was really questioning a lot of things, like just not so much like, yeah, I'm still a Leafs fan and I still would follow them and hope that they do well. But my belief, I was questioning my belief and like, I don't think these guys can do it.
Yeah, last year, well, being up 3-1 and fucking blowing the series is a little different. But what you're saying is if they go game for game with Tampa and get to like a game 7 and lose in overtime and Vasilevsky stands on his head, you think the fan base will walk away being like, you know what? This team will get there. They're just not as good as Tampa right now. Because I think it'll be the complete opposite.
People are going to lose it no matter what.
I think no matter what happens, if they lose in the first round, it's going to be like, we need to fucking break up the core. We need to trade this. We need to get a goalie. Jack Campbell sucks. Da-da-da-da. Everything's just going to fucking implode on Toronto.
I think it's all about how they lose. Like, if it's close and it goes 6 or 7 games and they're right in every game, like it's a one or it's a, like it's if it's tight and it could have gone either way and they lose, that will sit a lot better with me than if they have a 3-1 series lead and we see what happened last year. No fucking thank you. Not interested in seeing that shit again. So it's going to all depend on what plays out here. And we're assuming Tampa, and it does look that way. But it might not be, man.
No, it might not be.
The Bruins might.
Wouldn't it be weird if it came down to the last game between the Leafs and the Bruins, and it's like lose to the Bruins, play the Bruins, beat the Bruins, play the Lightning?
That would be crazy.
Wouldn't that be crazy? You kind of hold your own fate and decide who you play by how you play that. And that could very well happen.
Sure,
if the Bruins get within a striking distance, it'll come down to next Friday night, the last game of the season.
Let's take a quick look at the Metro for a second. So we never talked about this the last podcast. Freddie Anderson is out. So the Carolina Hurricanes are really like, they don't know what's going on in net. You can't count on Freddie like to be back in time for the playoffs. So the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers are tied with 108 points each at the top of the Metro. So don't know who's going to win that division yet. One of those teams are going to get the first seed, and either Tampa or Boston. I don't think the Leafs can slip to a wild card, can they? Can both Tampa and Boston pass the Leafs if the Leafs lose?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the wild card thing is basically out. It's probably 2 or 3 for the Leafs. In the wild card thing is not out, or probably out. But man, oh man, like if the Hurricanes end up winning that, like let's say Tampa slips to the wild card and they end up getting Carolina without Freddie Anderson, fuck man, you could be looking at, it's just so weird like how things could shape out here. Pittsburgh and the Capitals they're out. They're not going to be there. And the Rangers, like the fucking Rangers too, eh? Like holy fuck, man. Absolutely unbelievable. Shesterkin, great season for him.
I know. But if he goes down, they're fucked.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
But you could be looking at Tampa or Boston possibly playing the Hurricanes in the first round without Freddie Anderson. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, man. The Panthers, the Leafs, the Lightning, and the Bruins, depending on how this plays out, you could see a scenario where 3 of those teams are still going in the second round.
That is insane.
So one of them, it will be gone for sure, but hopefully it's not the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see. So let's go to...
Well, let's tee up the weekend, man.
Yeah.
Because we only got 4 games left?
The Leafs have 4 games left.
We got Florida tomorrow, Saturday, and then Washington in Washington on Sunday. Back-to-back. Not a good schedule, but then they have a nice little break.
That ends no, they don't. They have 1 day off. They come back. They come back home and play Detroit on Tuesday.
They come back home and play Detroit, but then they're off till Friday.
And then
play
that's
one
it.
game, and then it's the playoffs.
Yeah. Do you blame any
a
of
little
last...
lighter week?
Do you blame any of a little bit of a lighter load is what I would say.
A bit of a lighter load.
But not really. It's still a medium load. Do you blame any of what happened in the Tampa Bay game on they've just been playing too much hockey recently?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Because they have been playing a lot of hockey recently.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot of hockey, so's Tampa.
No, I know.
So,
everyone has.
Everyone has it.
So what do you think?
Maybe you lose 5-2, something like that, or 6-2. Yeah, maybe you got tired and played a little too much. You get your fucking ass kicked 8-1, and just the embarrassment that you were on the ice when Tampa started pushing you around, that's not what we've played to. If that's your excuse, pack up your bags because you're not getting out of the first round.
No, 100%, man. So what are you thinking this weekend then? Tough match. Florida Panthers, I just had it up, 10-0-0 in their last 10 games.
Oh, they're fucking just steamrolling teams. Now they've had a pretty light schedule, like
lighter load.
They've had a lighter load. They played a lot of sort of bottom feeder teams. So, but still, you got to blow your load on those teams too.
So Toronto at Florida Saturday should be an absolute beauty. This is the last time we'll see the Panthers unless we meet in the second round or the third round of the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. But I don't know. What do you do? And then you got Washington in back-to-back, so Shalgren's going to play again. So what game do you give Shalgren to, and what game do you give? Do you go back to Shalgren? No, I guess Jack plays against the Panthers.
Yeah, Jack definitely plays against the Panthers, and Matthews better be in the lineup too.
I can't see how he. And so I'm expecting Campbell to play against the Panthers. Shalgren will get the Washington game, and then it's Jack the rest of the way. Is it not? Even if the games are meaningless, do you not still play Jack?
Oh, no, you're playing Jack. Keith was saying he wanted to alternate goalies. That's why he started Shalgren. So he wanted to go Shalgren, Campbell. But then Shalgren plays Boston at the end of the season. I don't like that. I think Campbell should play, just like you said, take the Washington game off, then you play Tuesday, Friday, and then it's playoff time.
I know.
You don't want to play him Tuesday, and then he doesn't play again for 10 days.
No, I know.
So
yeah, I think you're right. So that should be an interesting game against the Panthers. See what happens there. Hopefully, coming off of that 8-1 loss, you would think a better effort would be in store. But again, you're playing the best team in the fucking East. You're playing the best team in the East. So who the fuck knows what's going to happen there? And last time they were in Florida, look at what fucking kind of shit show that was. So who the fuck knows what's going to happen? And then Washington, Ovi just had another. Ovechkin just scored his 50th goal the other night, his 9th 50-goal season to tie Gretzky and Mike Bossy.
What a fucking machine that guy is.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy weekend, and they could very well go 0-3 on this road trip, and then Tampa could win, and all of a sudden Tampa's within striking distance of second.
Here's what scares me. 2 tough games coming up against the Florida Cougars and the Washington Capitals, and then they come home to play Detroit, which they're probably that Detroit game probably scares me more than anything. Yeah, they're probably coming home thinking, "Oh, Detroit, fuck whatever, we're almost done here." Would you be surprised if they lost that Detroit game coming back home?
All the time at the end of the season, the non-playoff teams upset the guy, because the other guys are thinking playoffs, just like you said. They're thinking, let's get the easy 2 points and get on our way out. That's Detroit's Stanley Cup, man. Let's beat Toronto to finish the year. So they're going to be playing hard.
So we'll see what goes here. Before we go, do you want to talk a little bit about injuries? Because I'll tell you what, man. When's the last time Jake Muzzin played a fucking game? When's the last time?
The game he got fucking blown around because he couldn't turn.
Was that against the Islanders? That was against the Islanders.
Was that the Islanders where he couldn't even fucking pivot?
There was the back-to-back against Ottawa and the Islanders. Did he play? Yeah, was it? Yeah, it was because we were talking
Either way, it's been a while.
It was the Islanders because we were talking about who was it that made him look stupid, standing still. I'm pretty sure it was that Islanders game. I'm pretty sure. And then, so he played the back-to-back, I think. And then, or maybe he didn't even play in the Ottawa game. I don't know. Anyway, he missed the Philly game. He missed the Tampa Bay game. With another undisclosed injury, not concussion-related, just Muzzin can't go. So what a fucking surprise. So again, back to, you think this guy's going to be fucking in the lineup come playoff time? Come on. This guy, Muzzin. Anybody who's thinking Muzzin is no, it's not happening. And Matthews, day-to-day...
more importantly, how close is Sandin to come back?
Okay, I was going to get there, but Sandin is skating. Sandin is skating. He didn't take the road trip, but Sheldon Keefe said he's on target to get in next week. So I think the Detroit and Boston games are the plan. Sandin's going in. Who's coming out? I don't know.
That makes me happier than Muzzin.
For sure, but for sure. And will Muzz get in? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they're just.
I'd love to see it, but it just sounds like there's something going on with Muzzin.
Oh fuck! It's just
he can't get a string of games together, and he's just fucking out. And when he does play, he looks hurt.
Oh yeah, like Muzzin needs to, like, the back to. And here's the thing: if Muzzin is ready to go and Matthews is ready to go, now you got a back to back. What do you do? Do you go Matthews against the Panthers and you sit him the next night, or you haven't played in a week, so you should be fine to play a back to back? Think Matthews plays both games or what?
No.
I think he does, man. They've got 4 games.
Maybe.
They've got 4 games left. He's 2 goals away from 60. Like, you can't just, he should be able to still get there, but you can't like wait until the last game of the season and then be go get. He's got to play. He's got to fucking play.
He's definitely got to play. He went like 3 games without a goal. He can do that again.
Look, not that like the 60 goals is like we all know it's all about the playoffs, but
he wants to get there.
Dude, if you're sitting at 58, you want to get to 60 goals.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. So I think he plays both games. Yeah. I think he does. Muzzin, on the other hand, holy fuck, I wouldn't be surprised.
The only time you're not like completely pissed off that you didn't hit an even number is when you end at 69.
That's right.
If you don't hit 70, big deal. You stopped at 69.
That's would have been perfect scenario. Next year, maybe that is where it ends up. But
like, if he was at 69 right now and he was like, "I'm good, let's start the playoffs," I'd be like, "I get it. That's the perfect number to just."
So what? Okay, if Muzzin and Sandin are both, let's say they keep Muzzin out this weekend, or maybe he plays this week. If he plays on Sunday, or on Saturday, he'll probably miss the next 2 games anyway. So whatever. But let's say Muzzin and Sandin are both ready to fucking go. Who you got to take 2 guys out. Who's coming out? Hall,
yes, number 1 Hall, probably Liljegren.
Or do you play 7D?
No, I hate 70.
I think, and okay,
I don't play Muzzin.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Right now, I would
take Hall out, put Sandin in,
and
I like it,
and just keep Muzzin out.
Riley, the Boosh, Liljegren, Gio, Sandin, Brody.
Right. Maybe they try a new approach with Muzzin, and they really try to manage the load in an entirely different way. They sit down with Muzz and have a little conversation and say, "Look, Muzz, you're having a little tough time putting a stretch of games together here. Why don't we play you one night? The next night we sit you. The next game you play. Let's like really spread the load for Muzz, where he's not playing game 1 and 2. Like, he plays game 1 of the playoffs. He sits game 2. He plays game 3. I don't know. Maybe that's a whole new, like, because he can't string a stretch of games together, man. He can't do it.
I know, but it depends, because if he plays game 1 and he's absolutely terrible, and then game 2 the defense looks amazing and they win, do you just say, "Sorry, Muzz, we got to keep rolling with this because it's playoffs. Who gives a shit? If you're winning, you're winning." So
I don't know, but okay. Anything else before we go?
No, man, that was good.
Okay, so did you see like John Daly Jr. got John's son, the golfer?
Oh yeah,
right?
I know. Yes.
Did you see that he got a sponsorship deal?
No, who sponsored? Tell me.
Come on, you didn't?
No, I didn't see it. Tell me it's somebody good.
No, it's the best sponsorship. Okay, do you know how old he is?
He's like 15, 14?
No, I think he's like maybe 16 or 17.
Okay, he's a little older than that?
Yeah, he's not
But he's
legal.
not 18.
No, he's not. Well, that's
still
not
like
even
a high schooler.
In the States, like, you got to be 21 to drink or whatever. So he's not legal drinking age.
Well,
but
who's his sponsor?
You want to know? Okay, I want to tell you, but I want you to be okay. You should almost just Google it on your own. I will say though, John Daly Jr., John Daly's son, the golfer, signed a sponsorship deal with Hooters.
No.
Oh yeah, like father, like son. The whole family put out a statement. Apparently, John. Apparently, are you bringing it up?
Yeah.
Apparently, John Senior also has a deal with Hooters, so it's like all in the fucking family. But they put out a statement, like his kid was saying, like apparently his dad's been taking him to Hooters ever since he was a fucking kid, like a wee kid. So
he is now sponsored and an ambassador for Hooters, joining his dad, John Daly the First, who partnered with the restaurant chain in the 90s.
Yeah,
So
John. long time.
he's been doing Hooters forever.
Dude, John Sr. has been taking his son into Hooters, getting pissed, watching golf, probably betting money, just watching hot chicks all the time at pretty much every city in the United States. So, man, I just think that's hilarious. The guy's not even, he's 16, 17, he's in fucking high school, dude. And just can't even drink legally, but Hooters is right there with him. Like,
good on him.
oh, I just think that's
Good on
fucking
him.
great. I love it. I absolutely love that. And yeah, is he going to be a player? Like when he's played in like the pro-
Have you seen him?
Yeah, he looks good. He can pound it.
He's better than his dad.
So,
He's
man,
better than his dad. His dad was just sort of a wild card. He is a well-rounded golfer. Now, will he follow down the same path and get stuck in the booze and the Hooters? Hopefully
looks like
not.
it. Looks
Well,
like
yeah,
it.
It does look like it.
All right. Anyway, congratulations, John Jr. You are set, kiddo. You are set.
John Jr., on behalf of the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, congratulations. We will see you at the Toronto Hooters when you come as the ambassador. We will be there.
100%.
But listen, folks, we're getting close to playoff time. And for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In Podcast, at YouTube at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you're listening to, wherever you get your podcast. If you can leave a review or a comment, please do so. As the playoffs get closer, once the playoffs start, we will be doing these live streams after every game, a quick episode, a quick recap. We might be heated. We might be sweaty hogs ourselves after some of these playoff games.
Oh, it's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be nuts.
So don't forget to join us then. And until next time, we will.
Hey, Leafs Nation, don't you worry, because Saturday night,
It's a rude awakening.
yes, that, but also we are going cougar hunting. Hopefully we land one. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday night to do a recap of the Cougar game and the Capitals game. Monday night, Chatty?
Monday night, we will be here on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Let's go get those Cougars. Catch you later.